Hello everyone, this is a demo for Terraform Community Capsule. So here is a subscription and this will be an end user experience. So first the user will be selecting the resource provider. Once the resource provider is selected, the location has to be selected and the name of the VM and the type of the image to be provisioned and size of the VM and username and password for the VM. And finally select the OS image. Here I have selected Ubuntu Server 1604. And then in which Terraform workspace this VM has to be provisioned. So where the plan and apply has to be done. So for that, we need to create a workspace. So here I have given a name called demo work. So right now I have an active subscription. So let me start how it is configured from the HCMX. So this is a provider in HCMX called Azure. So by default, you will be getting these properties like Azure related properties like client secret, client ID, subscription ID, tenant ID. So you need to fill out all these details. Apart from this, you need to create 3 properties which is related to the Terraform. So you can make use of the existing Azure provider property. Along with that, Terraform auth token has to be given, organization name has to be given, and VCS repo ID. So what is VCS repo ID? So you might be having your Azure related code in GitHub. Say for an example, here I have a GitHub account and this is my VCS repo ID. And here I have 3 files called main.tf, variable.tf and output.tf. So what is written in main.tf? So here this is followed as per Terraform best practice. So here I want to create a VM. For that I may be needing some resources like network security group and then virtual network, subnet, and how I need to configure the network security rule. So this has been written in the main.tf file. Then what are all the variables used in this main.tf file that has been configured in the variable file. And as part of this VM deployment, what is the output needed? So I need public IP address and then private IP address and then cloud subscription ID. So those details I need. So that has to be taken out as an output.tf. So this GitHub repo ID is configured in the provider properties. So here I have configured the VCS repo ID. Then coming to the service design, the same server template has been copied and then created for the Terraform. So as I mentioned, all Azure related properties along with that Terraform properties like VCS repo ID, Terraform auth token, Terraform organization name has to be given. Then the same server group template has been used. So let me go to the operation orchestration to show the successful subscription. Yeah, here the first step will be we are collecting all the sensitive information and the non-sensitive variable information. So what are the variables required in order to create a VM? So in order to create a VM, when you go to the Terraform workspace, you might be configuring the variables. Say for an example, this is my Terraform cloud. And as I mentioned, this is my workspace that I have created a few hours back. And the first step will be we need to configure the variables. So these variables will be configured by the overflow. So this is an automatic process. So once you have configured the provider properties like tenant ID, all Azure related properties and Terraform related properties in your Azure provider, all the details will be automatically configured here based upon the sensitive and non-sensitive information. Here you can see if it is a sensitive information, it is hidden. So this is the first step that overflow is executing. It is creating the variable. Then it is following the deploy module flow of Terraform. So the basic dependency for this community capsule is base CP and then Terraform, HashiCorp Terraform CP, which is already available in the ITAM MPP. So it is using this deploy module. So first it is getting the auth client, that is whatever the GitHub repo you have provided, right? So it will talk to that and then it will find the auth token ID. Then it go ahead and creates the workspace. As I mentioned, demo is the name of the workspace. And then it creates the workspace variable. Then it creates a run. So since here I applied the auto apply has set it to true. So it is not waiting for my confirmation. It is going ahead and creating a plan and then followed by the apply. Once everything is done, then it is getting the run details. And then finally, it is fetching all the outputs like public IP, private IP, and a cloud instance ID. Let me show the run here. Here you can see first it has gone ahead for the plan. So the plan is to add the 8 resources. As I mentioned, in order to create a VM, we need a basic resources like virtual network, subnet network, security group. So first it is going ahead and planning, and all the 8 has to be added, and it is not waiting for my approval since I have set the auto apply as true. Now it has gone ahead and applied. So once it is created a VM, here you can see it is written in the public IP address. As I mentioned, that it returns few output properties. So I can go to the Azure portal. Here you can see this is a demo VM, and then here you can see the public IP address 1392, which ends with 195. Can confirm here, yes, the same. So once this is provisioned, this is an end user experience. What are the details available as part of the request? So cloud instance ID, which is nothing but the resource ID of the resource VM, and then IP address and other details, whatever the user has entered while giving the subscription. So this is an end-to-end use case for deploying a VM in Azure using a Terraform. Thank you.